If you're watching this, it's no longer live. Hey y'all, this is Jana from JMarieDesigned. I shared my doormats this morning, and I had a couple people ask how I piece mine together. Nikki does hers a little differently than mine. I use the Silhouette Studio software. I have a Sawgrass 400 printer, so I'm going to go ahead and show how my process, because sometimes someone's wording or someone's process might help somebody a little differently than someone else's. So I hope this helps y'all. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try and keep up. I'm going to be flipping around a little bit, and then I'm going to have to do a couple different parts because I'll have to move y'all over to where I do my cutting, and then I'm going to press as well. So I'm going to do a doormat this morning, and I'll show y'all what I do. So I'm going to go ahead and turn you around so you can see my process on the computer using my Silhouette Studio software. So good morning, good afternoon, y'all, wherever you're from. I am down here in Mobile, Alabama. It is hot. And I am Jana. I'm fairly new to the sublimation world. I'm enjoying this group and thought I would take a moment and share. So this is my process, and flipping you around. I'm gonna get you set up. Good morning, Kathy. Sorry if I make you seasick, wiggling y'all around. Trying to get it so you can see. Good morning, Heather. Sabrina, hope everybody's doing well this morning. So this is one of my designs. The last one I shared was a gift, and it was just a practice one, so it was just an image that I had downloaded off of Google to see if I could even do it. I had gone back and forth when I originally bought my printer because I wasn't sure if I wanted to make that investment in the beginning for the 800. And I wanted to make sure that sublimation was something that I was really going to love before I made that investment. So I went ahead and got the 400 and was hoping that, I could piece things together. Hi, Madeline. Hello to Australia from Alabama. It is late at night there. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning, I guess, here. So this is my design. I set my mat up originally when I lay out my design. I go here to the page setup, and I set it up to the inside of the mat, which is 12.5 by 24. So that's what I set it up when I originally do my whole design to lay it out. So I'm going to skip through that part because I'm pretty sure most of y'all know how to do basic layout. So this is how I don't have an accent. What are you talking about? So this is how I cut, though, when I'm getting ready to piece, because I can only print 8.5 by 14. So I then changed my page size from my page setup to 8.5 by 14 here on the page setup. I show my print border, so I have some idea here where I can cut. Then I also drag down from the top these guides so that I know when I'm moving things around that I'm keeping everything in a general area. I bring one over from the side and I put it in so that my cuts are all on the same spots. So I come in, oops, too far. A quarter on each side and down. Hi, Trina. Good morning. So there we go. Then I go here to the knife tool. Good morning, Shay. And I'm going to follow this line right here. This one on this side. This side I just let the printer cut off. Over here, I'm going to line my knife tool up. I don't know if I can zoom. Oh, I can. Look at that. Good morning, Missy. I'm going to line my knife tool up on this blue line that I drag. I'm going to hold the shift key, that gives me a straight line, and I'm going to slice right down my design. That cuts it. Then I'm going to grab my arrow up here, and I'm going to separate my design. At this point, I'll go ahead and print, which I'm not going to do because I already printed the design to save some time, but I'll show you what my print screen looks like. So I'll go to print. I use the Virtuoso Print Manager. I let Condi go ahead and set it all up for me so my color comes out well. It's set up for my 8.5 by 14. So when it comes up, it's kind of slow. Eventually it'll come up. And I'm going to go ahead and move this off because it's already got it. And then I just slide this one over. So I have it polyester because these doormats from Home Depot are polyester, 100% polyester, which makes them fabulous for sublimation. So I'm using the SPP paper from Condi, polyester, high quality. It's going to go ahead and mirror it for me. So this is what it looks like. It's my 8.5 by 14, and it's going to go ahead and print, which I already did, so we're going to skip that. So then I just go back to my design, and I'm going to drag it over to where I set up those blue lines, and that gives me a guide to where I need to slide it over. So I've already got this edge cut. I'm going to go back to my knife tool, grab it, shift, and slice. And it's going to cut right down that guide that gives me where I'm going to trim. Separate, go through and print, move that one out of the way, move this one over to here, and I'm going to print my last design. So then I've got all 3 pages printed. And that's basically all I do for all of my doormats. I do all my big designs. I do my t-shirt designs exactly the same way. Because some of my t-shirts I like, down here in Alabama, we like great big designs. Big hair bows, big designs. They got to fill up that whole shirt. So I do the same thing. I just adjust whether I want it to go horizontally or vertically, I cut the same way. I just slice it right down wherever I need the design to cut. And you can just do that by changing the orientation here of your paper. So I still have a pretty big space. I only have a 15 by 15 press, and it's just a clamshell press, but it works. So I've been able to make this work for me. So now I'm going to switch all over to my other area where I'm going to do my cutting so you can see how I trim it and tape it together. So hold on, hopefully I don't make y'all seasick switching around. I can't see comments right now because y'all are upside down. See if I can get you lined up here. I'll try and come back and answer questions as I go, or if I missed anything. Also, feel free to message me. Like I said, I'm new, but sometimes someone's wording makes a little bit more sense to someone than someone else, so it might help somebody along the way. So here are my pages. All printed, that are going to go on my mat. And all I do is I start on one side. I take my little quilting ruler, my rotary cutter. Can y'all see okay? See if I can zoom just a little bit for you. So I just line up the very edge. I don't take off any color. I just line up the very edge of my image with the edge of my ruler. And there's probably an easier way to do this, but for now, this is what works for me. And that slipped a little bit, so I'm gonna have to retrim. And it happens. Like I said, it's not perfect, but you do get a little bit of bleed, so you have a little bit of oops room. My mat also has a lump in it from where I accidentally set a hot mat on it. Don't do that. So that's one. This one I'll have to trim both edges because it's actually my middle piece. So this is the same. I just do the same process for all three pieces. And you notice I left a white space on the top and the bottom, and that's actually where I'm going to tape, because the mat's only 12.5, but my paper's 14, so that gives me some room to leave my heat tape, and then I flip it over and I run a piece of tape down the back, and then I also staple it to the mat to make sure that it's not going to wiggle while I'm pressing. As much as I would love to have the bigger printer, I have made this work. And then I saw Nikki this morning or last night do her clipboards, and I love her technique. So now I'm going to have to try that. So then I get my heat tape. I really need to get a dispenser because, and mine's green. I use it for my vinyl as well. And I just cut a few little pieces. I'll leave them on my fingers as I go. So then I just go and I just line it up. See if I can slide this in so you guys can see. I'm trying to watch the laptop and the back of the camera at the same time, but it's kind of hard. So I just kind of line that up. And when I get the top lined up, I'm going to put my little piece of tape up there. My little piece of tape at the bottom. And then I'm going to slip it around. And this one I kind of have to, because I got to line up the letters. And there is a little bit of wiggle room because as it presses, it does kind of smush out, but there's also some texture in the mat. And so it doesn't have to be exact. One little piece there. And one there. That does not look good. I gotta do one, I'm gonna do one larger one down the back, and that holds all my papers together. And then I'll grab my mat real quick and get everything set up, and then I actually have the heat press ready, so we'll go ahead and press this. So there is my giant picture. So here is one of the mats. Try and take you up a little bit more so you can see. And this design fits pretty much in the middle. So then I flip it over and I'm going to line up the top, this part up here, and my sides. And then I take my stapler, I open it up, and I'm going to staple right into the top of the paper and into this rubber ridge that goes around. And that's what holds my design in place, because I have to do this in 2 pressings because my press is only 15 by 15 and the mat is 24 long. So I just staple it around the edges. And this is ready to go. My press is warm. Got my cover papers. And then I'll show you my other little trick when I get it on the press. Get my lights over here. I'm gonna turn on my room light now that I'm not sitting there. Trying to wait for my laptop to keep up so I can see if, okay, there we go. So I line up just inside the edge of my press here. Grab my cover papers. I was doing t-shirts. Adjust my pressure up. I've got it at 400. We're going to do 60 seconds. I cut an extra piece of tape. This is going to be my little marker for where my edge of my press hits. So when I do my next press, I know how far over I have to go. So I've got it pretty much lined up on my press. Definitely not enough pressure. Then I take this little piece of tape and I'm going to mark here where the edge of my press hit on my mat. So I can move that over to the next time I press. Actually, I rotate it around so I know where I'm going. Bridget, I will be posting the video. I'll save it and I'll post it again. And I'll come back through and answer any questions if I missed anything. Missy, that might work, slicing it in half and doing a couple presses. I've done shirts, big designs on shirts that were larger. I used the die press spray and heat tape to hold it in place. My little room in here gets really hot because my press heats up the whole room. So then I just take it and I rotate it around And I have my little piece of tape here, so I know where it's got to go in my press to make sure that I get that whole design. I always peek because I love seeing what it's going to look like. It's like Christmas. I always have to see what it's going to look like. Good morning, Priscilla. In Texas. I'm in Alabama. So, yeah, I just have, and this isn't even a very, I think I paid less than $200 for this heat press a year and a half ago when I started doing shirts and vinyl. Eventually I'd like to upgrade to a swing arm press, but for now, you know, you make do. You make work what you got. So this is what I do with the 400, Sawgrass 400, and a 15 by 15 press. I don't have an elaborate setup, but I've been able to, Kim, I have no line. I'll show you. I'm going to show you here in just a second. I got 2 seconds. We'll do the big reveal. This is my favorite part. And I'll come back and pull the staples out. So this is my mat. I'm going to take you out of here. Oops. Can y'all still hear me? I think I hit a button. But this is my mat. Hey, Bridget. In Alabama? Yeah, I'm in Mobile. I gotta set it off to the side. I've had a habit of setting it on my mat and it makes it warped. Oops. It doesn't like me to rotate my phone. Sorry. But there it is. There's the mat. Shay, I know you're in Texas. So I hope I give y'all some hope that even if you have the smaller printer, that you can still do large designs. Because this design right here is 24 by 12.5. And that's what it looks like. Great color. Amazing color. This one I think came out better than my last one. There it is. So that's it. It's not quite centered. I got a little extra space on that side. Hey Lisa, how are you? And I'll pull the staples out and stuff, but this one pressed pretty well. I probably could have done a little better on the pressure, but it's alright. I love these doormats. So I'm going to set y'all back down. Did anybody have any more questions? I'll save this for anybody that wants to have any. It'll be there. Oh, sorry. This is the spray. The Pro Spray. I always get it mixed up with the other one. The die press spray is the one I use on the shirts. Sorry, Shakita. This is the one I use to hold things in place. But on the mats, I just staple it down. So this is the sticky one that I used on the shirts to press. The die press one is the poly spray to on the poly blend shirts to hold to do it. The doormats are from Home Depot. They are not available online. You have to go into the store. I will post the UPC. and a picture of the, well, the doormat you can see. I had to ask for them. They don't look the same. You have to really look in the doormat section, but they're in like the flooring department. Our little flooring man had no idea what I was asking for until I gave him, I had the SKU number and I gave that to him, and then he was like, well, they're supposed to be right here. Missy, I did. I have the Silhouette Studio, is what I do all my design in, just because it's easy for me, and that's what I do all my vinyl work in. So doing this part in it was just easy, and then I printed it on the Sawgrass 400. I used the Virtuoso print manager, because that's what Condi set up for me, because I was having trouble with my color, and so they set that up for me. And it's printed on 8.5 by 11. The SPP paper, or the QC Pro, is the option that I pick. Chiquita, it can go on the shirts that are a poly cotton blend. Not 100% cotton, no, but a poly cotton blend. It'll work. But not this spray. It's the this is the mix from dye press. You mix it with some water and you spritz it on a poly blend shirt, and then I put them in the dryer until they're completely dry. If you don't make them completely dry, then you'll end up with brown spots. But it allows a blend shirt to be sublimatable. It's worked really well for me. Our local vinyl store carries some really nice blend. I love the Next Level Raglan baseball jersey shirts, and they sublimate really well, especially with this. It's kind of a learning process, but this has been great. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I will come back through and answer any questions, or feel free to message me. I mean, I don't know everything by any means. I'm learning, but I do love this. I love the graphics part of it. Yeah, sure, Missy. Let me go. Actually, I'll show you right now. Let me flip you back around. I'll go back to the program and I'll show you how I print. Shay, I'm going to call you. Okay, Missy, here we go. Flip you around. Sorry, you have to look. That's actually me, live. So if I was going to print, I'll go to print from my Silhouette software. Sure, Chiquita. And trying to get it so you can see. From my Silhouette software, I go to my Virtuoso print manager, which is what Condi set up for me. I do have the Sawgrass one on here, but the colors on there were not printing correctly, so I print from this one. But if you call, they do a remote access and set up, and so that's how they set up my color profiles for me, and so this is where I print from. So then I click print, and then we'll wait just a second, and then the Virtuoso print page will pop up here. And Missy, I think it's the same if you print from Illustrator or even from Word. You'd have to choose the print manager as your printer, and you'll get the same print screen eventually. My laptop's really slow this morning. There it is. I have too much going on. So then from here, the mat is polyester fabric. I use the SPP paper, which is the same as the QC Pro. It's gonna disappear. But that's the, we'll try it again. It just depends, Missy, on how you have it set up. Yours may be set up to print to the 400 itself, or depending on how your print profiles are, your color profiles are set up. This just gave me the best colors. I could not get the colors right from the 400 itself, so when I called Condi, they went ahead and set it up to print from the Really, Christina? Yeah, it's just like printing. I mean, you can print it from Word too, like just as a document. You just have to make sure that your page dimensions are set up right. It is super slow this morning. I need to do a little laptop maintenance this morning and clear out some things. I'm glad you did too, Christina. I'm glad it helped. Like I said, sometimes someone's wording or someone's information helps somebody. Just that little tip that the way someone does something is a little different than someone else. And I'm a beginner, so I may do something a little different. That just makes sense to somebody else. Well, I think my Virtuoso program's shut down at the moment. So, Missy, if you have any questions, you can just message me and we can work through it when you get ready to print, if that works for you. Because right now my laptop is a little bogged down. Probably because I have way too many things open and trying to print. I've been working on a bunch of different designs, so it's probably pretty graphics heavy at the moment. So anyway, I hope this has been great for y'all. Thank you for letting me hop on, and I'm sure I'll be doing some more. And Nikki, if you ever watch this, thanks for your inspiration, and thanks for answering my questions this morning as well. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.